There's no question that artificial intelligence stocks have been the hottest stocks in 2024. But will they continue the momentum in 2025? That remains to be seen. Investors are looking at AI stocks like C3.ai and SoundHound AI, trying to understand which one will be better for 2025 and beyond. I'll answer that question in this video, pitting C3.ai and SoundHound AI against each other head to head in this comparison. I'll look at these two companies on revenue growth, profit expansion, cash flow from operations, and valuation to determine which one I think will be the better AI stock for 2025 and beyond. So let's take a look at these two interesting stocks.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
Let's start with comparing these two on revenue. You'll notice here they've both demonstrated growth over the recent years. C3.ai expanding to $325 million in trailing 12-month revenue. And most impressively, C3.ai has re-accelerated revenue growth. You can see here they hit a bit of a rough patch in late 2022 and early 2023 when their revenue were actually declining. But now they've accelerated revenue growth again. And their pilot programs have worked well, where they go into businesses and demonstrate how their product works and then securing sales from those demonstrations. Not unlike what Palantir has done in a similar category, they've employed a similar strategy and it's working well for both companies. So it's reasonable to assume that this will continue working well for C3.ai as well. Meanwhile, SoundHound AI is also growing revenue nicely as its voice AI technology is working really well. Right now, the most popular use cases for SoundHound AI's products are in restaurants and for inside vehicles. It has signed major car manufacturers as customers, and those customers that it's signing are expanding relationships with SoundHound AI, and that signals that they're getting good value out of the technology. These are just two of the early categories SoundHound AI will penetrate, and it's expanding more broadly. It's recently made several acquisitions that's helping facilitate revenue growth, and the company's got several years of runway ahead. The next thing I wanted to compare these two on is operating profit margin over a trailing 12-month period. Now, these are relatively newer companies, still in growth mode, still in investment mode, so they are going to be losing money on the bottom line. But I've said many times, I don't mind when companies are losing money on the bottom line, so long as they're demonstrating improvement or they demonstrate solid unit economics where I can see in the future how these services, how these products can become profitable. There's less evidence of that for C3.ai. You can see its operating profit margin is getting worse, not better, over the years, down to negative 97%. SoundHound AI, meanwhile, has been getting better. It's negative 140% operating profit margin, but it is improving. And management has said that when they make an acquisition, initially that brings down profit margins because there's duplicate roles, etc. But then it will improve profitability once they digest the acquisition, streamline operations, onboard the new team, and improve profit margins thereafter. You can see the improvement SoundHound AI has made in the last 5 years versus the opposite direction C3.ai is moving to. Cash flow from operations over a trailing 12-month is a similar story. C3.ai not showing very much improvement, although in the latest quarter they did deliver positive cash flow from operations. And so more recently, as revenue has accelerated, they are doing better. But if you look back longer term, you don't see a clear uptrend. But if you start from 2023, when they accelerated revenue growth, you can see a clear uptrend for C3.ai. Meanwhile, SoundHound AI's improvement is noticeably better. Look at the slope here of improvement. It's still significantly negative at 133%, but they are making excellent improvement in critical metrics, even though they are negative. The next metric I wanted to consider is return on invested capital. This metric measures how good a company is at taking investor money and turning it into products and services that generate profits. And again, similar story with C3.ai not showing very much improvement at negative 31% here. SoundHound AI at negative 54%, but again, showing excellent improvement here in this metric. So far, in the four categories we looked at, C3.ai is better in terms of the absolute number, right? They have higher revenue, they have lower operating losses, lower negatives in cash flow and return on invested capital, but they're not showing improvement as much as SoundHound AI. While it's worse in every metric, the improvements are excellent. The trend lines are excellent in progress. So that brings us to valuation. C3.ai on a forward price to sales ratio is less than half the price of SoundHound AI. And we can see why that's the case, right? You see those excellent improvements for SoundHound AI, and investors are forecasting that trend forward, and they're thinking, man, if this company continues at this rate, it's going to be profitable soon. It's going to be cash flow positive soon. That remains to be seen, though, if they can continue these trends all the way through and keep improving at the rates they're improving. If they do continue improving at the rates they are improving, then they will certainly become profitable and cash flow positive in no time. Still, if I was to pick between these two AI stocks for 2025 and beyond, and I had to pick one of them, I would pick SoundHound AI because of those improving trends. That demonstrates to me the company has strong economies in scale. As revenue grows, it leads to improving profitability, and revenue growth is most likely going to continue because they operate on a contract basis and they have contracts spanning out for several years. So, if I was a long term investor looking at AI stocks with big potential and trying to decide how to set up my portfolio in 2025, choosing between these two, SoundHound AI would be my choice. Hey everyone, so many of you have been asking about my investing strategy, and I'm excited to announce that I've written a book that's available for sale now that describes my 6-step investing framework for evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.